I don't know why, but on my walk back home yesterday, I started thinking of a memory I had of when I was in middle school. At the time, I had a close-knit group of friends that I met at the school, but I also had a very close long-term friend who went to a different school. Let's call them Tobias. I wanted to invite all of them, Tobias and my group of friends, to my 12th birthday party. But when I started imagining the scenario of them all meeting, a wave of anxiety hit me over. What if my friends don't like Tobias? What if they notice that he can be a bit loud and obnoxious? Or sometimes he's just a little pushy. Before long, I had thought up a whole list of defects in Tobias's character. Every single weakness that I had only slightly noticed before was amplified and extremely obvious. But really, as I was standing there, walking home yesterday, I realized what my biggest anxiety was at the time. What is my association with Tobias and all his faults going to say about me? What are my friends going to think about me by me being with him? And suddenly, it also hit me. My fixation on Tobias's flaws isn't about Tobias. It's about me. I was insecure. I was so uncomfortable with myself and my friends' perception of me that I was willing to be ashamed and embarrassed of someone who's been a good friend to me for many, many years. But something else happened just as quickly. And I think this is the part worth sharing, because this is the part that shows the most personal growth. Now, normally, I think anyone would start to feel intense feelings of shame about the sudden realization and guilt. After all, how could I betray my friend like that? How could I think about them in such a hurtful way because of my own insecurity? But this is the part worth mentioning. Before I let that happen and I let myself think about those thoughts, I knew I needed to do some corrective thinking. Instead of looking at my friend like a quote-unquote good or bad person, I looked at them objectively. And I tried to look at our relationship in a way that had no bias or feelings from myself. I thought about all the things they'd said to me, the good and the bad. I thought about all the things they'd done for me, the good and the bad. And then I realized Tobias wasn't a bad person after all. Tobias is a person. Someone who had been a good friend and a supportive friend. Someone who had opened up about their insecurities, but also accepts parts of themselves that others may not. And I loved that person. I cherished them as a friend, and I'm so glad that we were friends. I reassured myself about Tobias, and then I focused my attention onto me. Again, instead of focusing on all the wrong I had just committed against a friend, I tried to look at myself in an honest, unbiased way. I accepted that I'm never going to be a perfect human being. Sometimes, like today, I'm going to project my own insecurities onto other people. But I'm also glad that I'm the type of person who recognizes this about themselves. Mixed in with all the good, there is bad. Mixed in with all the bad, there is good. And I think I learned a lesson from myself today. You're never going to be a perfect person, but don't hide from the person you are. You're going to have faults, you're going to make mistakes, you're going to disappoint yourself, whether that's in your actions, your feelings, or your thoughts. But that's all just a part of you. It's what makes you, you. There may be nothing you can change about your personality or your anxieties in the moment. And you have to be okay with that. Never blame others and take ownership of your own mistakes and personality defects. Accept them. Now, this isn't a pass to be an asshole. Please don't take it as a pass to be an asshole. Instead, take it as a lesson. Sometimes you're the problem. not the people around you. Acknowledge and recognize that without hating yourself. Accept yourself, the good and the bad, and also appreciate the aspects of your personality that you like. You can be proud of how you've grown and who you are. Be proud and humble at the same time. You're allowed to be.